Wendell, Kevin, that's a show.
Every week now. Hey, Kevin Thompson, I didn't realize you were covering a red bush in that picture last of your head last. That's really nice.
That's a red maple.
That's how to say. But I was gonna say, there's this thing that says Life magazine 1942 spread on Detroit made a lot of people in Detroit mad, right? But I'm not even talk about the article. That's irrelevant. What got me and was so important about things like this is they weren't angry about the article, particularly the people that were mad about it. They had no factual problems with what the article said. What made them mad was the reality of the article. They felt it made them look bad. They didn't like it. And it reminds me in general across the board of if you got something to say and it's true, even if I don't like it, I have to at least acknowledge it and say, okay, that was right. You're right, or you're wrong. But if I know it to be true, why the hell am I going to argue about that? We'll argue about some other things. We can argue about the way it's presented or something like that, but do that after you acknowledge the facts. If the facts are facts, if somebody says, hey, Wendell, man, you kind of got to stop robbing those stores. I say, well, wait a minute. I was hungry that day or whatever. Tell me that later, but first of all, Wendell, are you robbing stores? Terrible example I just gave. Forget that was a terrible analogy. But
absolutely horrible.
But yeah, it pissed me. Reading the article, I said, yeah, I know exactly what they're talking about.
What article are you talking about?
But Wendell, the other thing is that sometimes, like you say, the way it's presented, so if you want to slant stuff and you say that, oh, look at this, 3 people get shot in Chicago over Juneteenth, which happened. It's terrible. It's sickening. But then you have a bunch of racists coming out of the wall.
That's
saying,
a whole different story. Yeah.
Saying,
We're talking about.
I understand that.
Yeah.
I understand that. But they're going to say, "Am I telling the truth?"
Yeah,
you're telling the truth about that particular thing there, but now you're projecting it on to a whole group and a whole culture of people, which is total crap.
No doubt about it. But I'm thinking more in terms of, I see it all the time in terms of these Republicans.
Oh, yeah.
These investigations. They won't even answer a question. They won't make a statement. They won't answer nothing. And it's like, I agree that it can be used in a bad way. No doubt about it. Anything can be used in a bad way. But I thought it was kind of funny looking at this. My little brother's always giving me these articles. And they're just so interesting sometimes. But yeah.
Well, do the intro. Do the intro, Wendell. Do the intro.
What was the article about, man?
To the WKKS.
Thank you. Right.
And that's Kevin.
Welcome.
And Kevin.
That's right. Yes, thank you.
And a red maple in a grove of trees. And behind you, I see it's a portrait of what's actually behind you.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't realize that. There's a lot of things I don't know.
I thought that was that's nice. Yeah. I thought that was a big red afro behind you.
like
my wig.
Like a Bob Ross.
Right.
Bob Ross.
Right.
Bob Ross.
It's
my halo.
Serious question, though, Kevin. How much do you charge for a painting like that?
Well, I don't charge no money for that.
Okay.
I don't sell. I haven't sold anything in a long time, since I was working at the post office. I used to sell stuff out of the Detroit Artist Market.
Yes.
But I haven't sold anything yet for a long time.
Okay, I'll go down there. Yeah, I don't like that.
That's one of the weird things about making it. I have no idea what to charge, and
right, yeah.
And so then I feel weird charging money for it, and that's a big part of making art. You got then people want commissions, and then
oh yeah, I get you, man.
Yeah,
get
can
you.
you can you
You
do
should
one of
give
my
Kevin
daughter?
Robinson that picture. You should give Kevin Robinson that picture.
You can
No,
have.
I don't want. Okay, and I'll give you $2 for it. No
Okay,
problem, man. No, I'm just,
it's
but
not done
seriously,
yet. I got a lot to do yet.
yeah.
You got
But
more
it's,
to do
it's
in that?
Uh,
Uh,
yeah.
yeah, but it's interesting, that, and I really admire the fact that you do have that struggle with, what am I going to charge for this?
Yeah,
What,
yeah.
I don't want to charge for it, and I totally get that, because you got some people who go into an artist booth and try to argue them down on the price, which
Yeah.
which is very, very interesting as well,
Oh, like
pretty
in Ann
crappy as
Arbor?
well.
we argue.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Oh, I saw one at the Detroit not Detroit Artist Market, but the Festival of the Arts down on Cass. They used to have it when Tony was a kid. And I saw this guy. He walked this woman. She went to CCS, and she had some, real simple mugs and stuff for sale. She was selling them for $5 a piece. And this
Mhm.
guy walks in. He says, "I'll give you $2." And she said no. And this guy basically berated her and walked out and said, "You're never gonna make any money." So I bought a couple mugs from her. I bought a couple from her and told her, "Hey, don't let this guy get
Really?
under your skin. Don't worry about it." And about 6 or 7, 8 years later, I met her again at an art fair in Warren, Michigan, and I recognized her style. And I
Uh-huh.
walked in. She looked at me. She goes, "I remember you. You're the
Oh,
guy that told me that never let somebody argue me down on my art, man. I really appreciate it." I said,
wow.
"Wow, it's funny."
That
Yeah,
was cool.
yeah. I want to punch that guy if you want to know the truth, man.
Man, I'll give you $2 for it.
I'll give you $2.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
walked out mad. He walked out pissed off. You don't want to make no money. I was like, what the hell is this dude
I
doing?
don't need your $2, you son of a bitch.
He wanted
Yeah,
it for
but
free.
yeah,
Yep.
and she held him down though, which I like, because I wasn't going
Yeah.
to say anything because I said she's a grown woman. She's going to fight her own battle, and she did. She did it very well.
How much was
Good
she
for her.
charging for the mugs the second time you seen her?
Not that much more.
Oh,
Like maybe $10, something.
yeah.
I've seen. Hey, real quick, man. I don't want to dominate this, but real
No,
quick,
man.
man. I was up in Ann Arbor one year, and I still got these two pieces. They're pretty simple ceramic pieces, right? They're nice. They're pretty simple. So this guy was up there. He's selling them. I said, "How much for these?" He said, "Well, the bigger one is $80 and the smaller one is 60." I said, "Okay, give me both." So I bought. A year goes by. I go back up to Ann Arbor. He doesn't recognize me, but I'm looking at his booth. Those same two pieces were like $400
Oh,
Whoa.
and th- and
I think it's
and
like
three
$20.
and $300. Right now,
Damn.
I walked out the last day of the show. I went in there. You could tell this guy was miserable. You could tell he did not have a good show. And I said, "Hey man, yeah, how's your show been going?" And he said, "Oh, terrible. This is horrible, man." I said, "Yeah, yeah." I said, "Well, you don't mind me giving you a little insight?" He goes, "Yeah." I said, "Those two pieces right there." I said, "Yeah." I bought that for $140 from the last year, and now you're selling them for $700. These people are very sophisticated. I don't spend a ton of money to a lot of folks here, and I'm sophisticated enough to know that that is not worth 700. Man, you price yourself out of the market. That's it. Yeah, and he said, "Yeah, you may be right." I said, "All right, man. Good luck to you." Everybody in Ann Arbor got money, right?
Yeah, right. From $140 to $700 in 1 year is a lot.
I know. You
Yeah.
want to sell this stuff, so you want to sell it, price it to sell, But
Yeah,
but that too, like you don't want to give it away, but you want to make something from it, for your time and everything that you put into it.
absolutely.
But,
And plus, you got to get a booth. You got to travel.
oh
You
yeah,
got
that
to
there,
eat.
yeah.
You got to stay somewhere. So we all get that. But yeah, man, I've seen some wild
seven
stuff,
hundred
man.
dollars.
$700.
$700. Yeah, man. Yeah, it was deep, man.
And see, I got a little interesting thing. I was thinking about the different schools we went to and looking up who the people were that the schools are named after. So it was kind of interesting. Well, my first school I went to, that's nothing to talk about. It's named Columbian, so we all know who that was named after. But the second one was Brady. It's named after a fellow by the name of George Brady. and it turns out he was a business person, and he was deeply into Boy Scouts and things like that, and in the
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
I know.
19th century. Wait a minute, hold up.
Deeply, what, up to his fist or what? With his elbow?
Be prepared. That's all I got to say. But he was in this late in the 19th century and the early 20th century. But then and then Drusilla Farwell, who me and Kevin went to Drusilla Farwell. And she was originally, she was born in Hamilton, Ontario, Farwell Junior High School. And she married George Farwell in 1848, not 1948. In 1898, I get it right. And then when he died, he had the first auto showroom in Detroit. And so, needless to say, when he died, she made a lot of money. I never heard this when I was going to Farwell or anything like that. And she inherited a lot of money when he died in 1920. And she spent the rest of her life in philanthropy and stuff like that. But the one that got me was your favorite school, Kevin Robinson, Edmund Atkinson.
Yep. Okay. I'm sure this is not good.
Well, it's interesting more than anything else. He was a lawyer. He worked for City of Detroit. He was a Common Council. He was a Common Council member. But this is the part that blew my mind. Two things blew my mind. He was in World War I after after he'd already established himself as a Detroit businessman and a lawyer and all that kind of stuff. He went to World War I, and after the war, he was part of the invasion to try to quell the Russian Revolution. That didn't work. How'd that work out for you, Edmund? But this is the part that really blew my mind. He died in 1987. I know.
Damn.
Wow.
That's really?
God, was you 128?
He was damn near. He was like in his late 80s, I think it was. No, yeah, because his no. You know how I'm feeling that might have been a misprint. And then he died, and he went to Arizona and made another fortune in real estate, and then died in 1987. That's how I read it anyway.
Okay, so when was he born? When was he born? What year?
I forgot to write that. Look it up right now, won't you? Or I can look it up. You want to look it up?
I can't look it up.
I'll look it up. Okay. Meanwhile, why don't you kids talk amongst yourselves?
What about General John J. Pershing? You know,
you want the Pershing?
Another lawyer.
Yeah.
Hated black people. Hated black people.
And Lewis Cass.
Not a nice person at all either. That's why I even touch on them because that's all. You only went to 4 schools, right, Kevin?
Yeah. If you don't count the 5 reform schools and juvenile centers.
You don't count more schools for boys. How many schools did you go to, Kevin?
I went to a few. I went to there was Edmondson. I forgot who he was, and Longfellow.
You went to Longfellow?
Yeah, in Hazel Park. It was
Hazel Park. Okay.
Yeah.
We all know Longfellow. He was pretty cool.
Dickinson and Hamtramck. I don't know who Dickinson was. Then Copernicus.
Oh, we know who he was.
I don't know who Copernicus was. And then Colonel Hamtramck High School. Revolutionary War hero.
Yeah. So I only went to 4 schools.
4 schools.
4 schools. That's it. Yeah, I was pretty stable. In Detroit. Mm-hmm. It's funny. In Detroit, I've only lived in I think 4 places. I lived in the Sojourner Truth Projects on Stockton. Then I lived on Cortland. Then I lived on LaSalle, and then I live where I'm at now. Mm-hmm. And now I'm not counting when I went away to college. That's a little different. But in Detroit, I've only moved 3 times.
Damn.
Yeah. Now I know Windows probably moved 3 times in 1 month.
It's close to that. We used to move. Especially you, Kevin Robinson. I knew this one lady, Kim Moore. She has only lived in 3 places her whole life. Another friend of mine, Bobby Patterson, he's only lived in 3 places his whole life. I have in 1 year, one year, my busiest year, I think I lived four places in 1 year. We used to move. I remember growing up, we lived on Clemens, we lived on Philadelphia, we lived on all Detroit. We lived on St. Clair, we lived on Bayless, of course, Gladstone, 24th Street. We moved a lot. We moved not every year or anything, but every couple of years. My mother would get a little bit more financially stable, and then we moved.
Yeah. Oh, I thought it was because y'all was squatting everywhere.
I thought you were gonna say something quite different, but
yeah, I know.
That's how we did too.
But you held back. Thank you, Kevin. You all right?
I held back. It wasn't gonna be bad. Don't worry.
Go ahead.
My father bought his first house with his VA loan, and
okay.
It was early in the '60s, and then they put I-75. They took our house for I-75 when they put it in there.
Yes,
we lived up on 10 Mile and Woodward Heights.
And that's something you get a house and then you go, bye.
They took out the whole neighborhood right there. That was when they were putting I-75 in.
Was that about 1963, somewhere around there? Yeah. I remember sliding down the embankments when they were building that freeway.
Yeah.
And it cut through all of Black Bottom, where all the black businesses and stuff were.
Right.
Yep.
And my grandmother stayed on, I want to say 1004 Leland.
Okay.
Street, right?
Leland,
yeah. She stayed on Leland, and we used to go over there and we slide down the embankment.
I remember the warnings of blasting caps.
Yeah, Willie Mays. If you see one of them, don't touch them. I remember that.
I remember blasting caps around the expressway for some.
Your ass up.
I was always afraid to touch anything that was down in there. We used to go down there, but
I remember those commercials well. Willie Mays. Yeah. Oh, by the way, I think they mixed up things because they have him as in the Common Council between 1900 and 1904. They have him. Then they have him going to.
Told you 128, man.
But then
that's right.
But then they also have him. Like I said, I have a feeling that he's the guy that went to World War I and all that stuff, and went to real estate in Arizona and died in 1887 is a different one. And I think the one that our fair school was named after was the guy who was in city politics and was a lawyer for the city of Detroit and graduated Detroit College of Law in 1895. Yeah, he didn't die in 1987. He was dust by then, brother. Because that would make him born around 1870 or so.
Right.
So he's nowhere in hell he died in 1987.
Now, who's this, Atkinson?
Yeah, Edmund Atkinson. That's
Edmund
our
Atkinson.
school was named after.
Okay.
Right. That's my favorite school by far. Nothing will ever top Atkinson Elementary.
We didn't have a school song though, but that's right. You went to kindergarten through 6th grade there.
Absolutely.
So you were there longer than you were at any other school.
12 years. I was there for 12 years. Right? No, I'm sorry. Wait a minute. Oops. God damn, Kevin. Come on. What's that memory?
12 years.
I forgot that. I forgot that memory pill you can take. Yes.
You're in remedial class. You're the oldest person.
Yeah, lying. I'm like 18 years old in kindergarten. No.
Well, like Jethro Bodine. I know a lot of stuff about the 5th grade. I was there for 5 years.
Right. No, it was 7 years. It was in there 7 years, from 5 to 12. Right.
That's what I like about where we moved here. We've got the elementary school, the middle school, and the high school right next to each other. And Jason went to all 3 of those. Right down the street.
Yeah.
Like when I moved, when I was a kid, I went to I don't know how many schools. It was weird. Like he's known the same kid since he was in kindergarten.
Yeah, right.
Came through the school and graduated with the same kids. That was pretty cool.
That is cool.
Yeah.
That's very cool. I know one of my granddaughters, they had a special thing out here where she was going to school where they just changed the teachers and the classes, but they would have the same classroom
Oh,
from kindergarten through.
all the same kids.
Mm.
So they got to know each other. And one thing about it, it really builds a kind of a solidity with people that they understand people more than just people coming through and passing through their lives. It's more like,
Right.
I think it's wonderful that you went through that too, Kevin. I think it gives you a certain amount of a different basic outlook in your little boy, little girl mind
Yeah.
of solidity and trying to understand people instead of just saying so and so's a jerk or
Yeah, right. That was one of the big transitions in my life going from elementary to middle school because I loved Atkinson so much. And I remember my last, the day before I went to Farwell, man, I was so man, what you call it? I forget the word, but I was sitting there just
Anxious?
thinking about, huh?
Oh, you're
No,
anxious?
how no, how you think about something in the past
I'm
and
nostalgic.
yes, I was very, very nostalgic
Even at
about
12 years old, I understand it.
at 12. And I was walking around the whole perimeter of the school thinking about all the friends I made and all this stuff. So the next day, I get up to go to Farwell. And one of the older kids, Curtis Brown, he's one of my oldest friends. He says, well, Curtis is going to walk you guys up there. And we had to walk past Atkinson, you know, to keep going to get the Farwell. And man, I tell you, I never wanted to make a right turn so bad. You know, now about 3 or 4 days in, I was okay. You know, I was fine.
That's a good
And,
little
and the,
walk. That's a good little walk too.
yeah, that's a good walk, right? Now the second hardest transition, I was grown, was leaving Hampton.
Hampton, you were talking about that, yeah.
Yeah, because I really loved Hampton. I had a good time, And then when I left, I was like, oh man, I got this 4 years went by so quick. But when the fall came and everybody's going back to Hampton now, I was down on Cass Avenue registering for classes at Wayne State. Once you go to that first class, it all goes away.
But I gotta ask you, is it true that the principal actually needs to tell you to stop hanging around in front of the school?
Who, me?
I'll
never tell.
That one fell on his face. Never mind. Just strike that from the record.
I know what you're saying. That's right. No. You say that. You say that about the library teacher. I'm not gonna mention his name.
The library teacher.
That was my boy. He was cool. Hey man,
No, he wasn't. No, he was not. No, he was not.
Oh, he really wasn't. I thought that was
No,
just.
he wasn't.
Oh.
It never happened to me, but he had a habit of going around and pinching kids.
Now, I remember pinching.
For real?
I remember that.
Yes.
Yes. I didn't realize, looking back.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot. I didn't think of it that way. I knew I didn't like that.
Everybody didn't go for it. I look at him like, yeah, man, I'll kick you in the nuts, if you do that. But he would pinch people, and he always pinched boys, never pinched girls.
Yeah. Wow.
I bet I did get pinched by him one time, but it's like, but I was doing something wrong, and we were used to corporal punishment back then, so I thought it was an odd corporal punishment.
Yeah, they use big paddles at Hamtramck, man.
Same in Detroit, believe me. Mr. Taylor, Mr. Reeves, Mr. Wilson, but I liked all three of those guys, to tell you the truth.
Yeah, well, you remember Mr. Basil?
Edwards? Huh?
You remember Mr. Basil? Mr. Basil? I forget, but Basil had this. He had this thing called the Basil medicine. We talking about corporal punishment in elementary school. He had something called the Basil medicine, where he would take his fist like this, right, and he would grind it into your arm, okay. And now I was always a pretty good kid, so I never really got in a lot of trouble. Right. And this one kid did something. He talked too much or something, chewing gum. He gave him the basal medicine, but he didn't realize he had just got inoculated in that arm.
Oh, geez.
and he ground his fingers into that man. That kid was screaming at top of his lungs, and he was like, "Oh shit,"
Man.
Today
Yeah,
would have been
so
his job.
oh yeah,
Was that like that must have been the early grades before I got there then, right?
yeah, fairly, yeah, yeah.
Mr.
Reeves,
Basil.
yeah, Mr.
Mr. Basil.
Galtieri,
Mr.
Mr.
Gaultier, I
Galtieri.
like Mr. Gaultier. He was cool as hell.
Yeah. One
I always
time,
liked him. Well,
well,
again,
I understand.
isn't it
Right.
funny how
Well,
you could have the same
yeah, yeah.
likes of people, but you have different experiences with them?
Well, let me tell you what happened. Now, me
Oh,
and
I know
Twyla,
what you're gonna. I know the story you were saying. Yeah.
right? Me and Twyla were held for some. I don't forget what it was. And Terry, he punched me in the chest.
Yeah.
Mm.
Now he didn't blast me in the chest, but he punched me, and it shocked the hell out of me. Because I'm like, what the hell. Now he felt bad about it. But I didn't say anything. And I know probably I should have, but if I did, I'm sure my mother probably came up there with a butcher knife and took care of me. So, okay. So later on, he always wanted me, hey Kevin, you want to do this? And I just cut him off. I just cut him off. I wouldn't say nothing to him. And we would play football, and he would throw the ball to me. I didn't even want to catch it. I didn't want to do nothing. It had nothing to do with his ass.
Yeah.
And so, we just left it alone. And it went like that. But that was my personality. If you do something that wrong to me, your ass is cut.
Especially since he never even tried to really not just pretend, but come out and say, "I'm sorry." That
right.
probably didn't help it at all.
He just looked bad. He just looked like, oh
Yeah.
shit, I made a
That's
mistake.
not the
But
same thing, though. That's not
he
the
didn't
same
say,
thing.
hey, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have done this.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That
he didn't
makes
do that. But they
that
didn't
makes a big
owe it to little kids to give it. You don't give a kid an explanation, right? You don't give a kid an explanation.
And
They don't deserve an explanation.
that's why teachers that actually talk to us, and try to hear our. Well, that's why everybody liked them so much. I mean, the teachers you loved those teachers, man.
Absolutely. They listen to you. They listen to you. They encourage you. Instead of saying this is what it is, and that's it. You don't know nothing. You're a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't have any teachers like that in Hamtramck.
You didn't have any teachers like that?
None that I knew of.
Did you have any cool teachers? We had a cool ass teacher named Mr. Lorenz, and he would talk like regular. He was an art teacher.
Oh yeah.
He would talk to us like regular people. Do you like this? Or like he was that kind of thing. And he drove a Stingray, and he was.
I was going to say that, right?
He was just cool. Mr. Lorenz with the two LLORENS.
Yeah. ORENS. Yeah.
But
there was Miss Mays was our art teacher, and she had cock eyes, so she didn't know who she was looking at, when she was talking to you. And I think that affected her paintings too, but it was wild. But she was cool. And then there was a dude, Mr. Siegel. He always was trying to be cool with the kids, with everybody. And he used to smoke a pipe and shit.
Oh,
and
wow.
he must have been in his late 20s, early 30s or something too at that time.
Wow.
He smoked a pipe. Man.
Yeah. He always acted like he was cool, like he was probably the coolest teacher in Hamtramck.
He was cool.
Yeah,
right. I went to a summer school. I went to a Catholic summer school just to take. It was over there by Pershing, and it was to take a class in the so-called new math that was coming up. I forget what the new math was.
What was this?
In the '60s, sometimes, man.
Are you still in elementary school?
Yeah, I'm still in elementary school. So I went there, man. I went there, and I'll never forget this nun named Sister Consolata. And I'll never forget Sister Consolata, man. She had those flimsies, that you put on the overhead projector. Yeah. And then she'd have them drawn out, and she'd put them on there, and she would try to draw like what's 8 times 2 divided by whatever, right? Mm. And she would focus it, but this woman was damn near blind. So she would focus the damn thing, and it'd be all blurry. She'd be like, "Okay, now, like Kevin, we did." I said, "I can't see that, Sister Consolata. I can't see it." And she goes, "What? It's in focus." I said, "No, it's not." And then she'll put it in focus for me, And then she said, "Well, I can't see it now." We sitting there and crack up laughing, man. But
You're
you
lucky.
know,
Yeah,
oh,
you're lucky she didn't hit you with a ruler or something for being a smart ass.
yeah. Well, no. But the thing was though, she was cool though. She was.
Uh,
She was an okay person, but she couldn't see worth a damn. So we kind of settled on a midpoint where it's kind of like half blurry and half sharp. So
Neither one of y'all could see
we can half see it. So we was okay, you know. I got through it all right. But yeah, that's the only one I remember out there. It only took one class there, and that was hers. You know,
That's
so that's the
fine.
reason why I remember. I always wondered what happened to those sister conferences. It was back in the 60s.
I wonder about a lot of old teachers. I figure nowadays anybody that was teaching us is probably dead by now. But I certainly hope that they're alive, wherever they are.
Yeah, I hope not.
There might be one
You
or
know,
two.
Might be.
could be, could
Might be.
be.
It's possible. Say, what happened 70 years ago today in music history? I'll tell you. I'm not going to really ask you. I'll just tell you. That was the day that Richie Powell and I'm sorry, Richie Powell and Clifford Brown died in a car crash.
I was about to say that.
Yeah.
You said 7 years ago?
70
70.
years ago today.
Okay, I thought you said 7. I was like,
No,
damn,
no,
I
no.
know Clifford Brown.
Now,
Was
who were they?
And Richie Powell played piano, and Clifford Brown was the trumpet.
Oh man,
player.
he's a
Great
hell of a
jazz
trumpet player.
But the thing was so
Yeah.
sad about was I think it was Richie Powell's wife volunteered to drive him to the next gig because they were really tired so they could go to sleep.
Right.
But apparently she made a wrong turn off a rail, and that was it.
Wow.
And all three of them got killed.
Man, oh man, like Billy Stewart, the singer, died of auto accident too, man. He
That
died.
was Chrysler had to pay his family for that. It's
Oh, for real?
Yeah, they had something wrong with one of the early recall things, and then they paid his family. There was a problem with another car. The one that got me was I was reading Brother Ray many years ago. I heard about that. Ray Charles fired his driver. I think his name was Charles Shackelford. We had a assistant principal named Shackelford at Pershing. I think his name was Wendell Shackelford. Anyway, Charles Shackelford. Anyway, and then Jesse Belvin hired him. And
Right.
he went to sleep on the wheel and he got killed himself and Jesse Belvin. Good night, sweetheart.
Yeah, but Belvin's wife, I believe.
Night, my love. I'm sorry, was that?
Belvin's wife, I believe, was critically injured in the crash. So I hope I'm getting this right. And this is what I read, and that her father came to her, and she said she was, she's all messed up, and he let her know, hey, I'm here, I'm your dad, I'm here. And she said, how's Jesse? And he said that Jesse's gone, and she died right away.
Wow.
That's what I read that. Yeah, Jesse Belvin. Yeah.
That's terrible.
I was like, and think of this, man. It's bad enough she's gone, they're all gone. The guilt the father must have felt.
Oh man.
Oh yeah, for telling her. Yeah.
Yeah, for saying it. He didn't think about it. Just, Yeah, I tell you, man, this is I don't want this to get too morbid, but when my mother was in hospice, okay, she was, now I get a chuckle out of it. So she was in hospice. I was sitting there, I said, hey, Mom, she was conscious, she was fine, she's doing good. We're talking. And she says, Gabby, how's Mama doing? How's Mama? I said, Grandma? She goes, yeah, how's Mama doing? I said, oh, Mom, she passed away in 1967. And Mama said, oh, man, she starts crying. I was like, oh, Lord, So then she looks at me, she goes, well, how's Daddy? Now, he had died in 75. I said, oh, he's fine. I said, he's doing great. And guess what? She didn't have any tears.
That's wild.
No, so, it's all in what it takes.
Yeah.
I was ignorant to the fact that I probably shouldn't have said she was gone, but I didn't know. But you learn from experience for the next one.
Just that fast.
Yeah. He gone too. If you want to,
or Mom, what the hell? I just told you. Weren't you listening?
you know when the Curtis Brown's mother, Miss Julia Brown, she just passed away, I think, last year, maybe a year and a half ago. And I think
Are
she
you
made it to
kidding me?
Yes, she made it to 100 years old, man. Miss Brown. Miss Brown was like a second mom to me. We had a bunch of second moms in the projects, but Miss Brown was the closest.
100 years old.
And Eric had spoken to her, because she was out in Colorado with her daughter, Dolores, and her daughter's husband, Lucius, who I remember them holding hands in the living room back in the mid 60s or like 66 or something when we had a stereo, but the Browns didn't. So they would come over to listen to music. The Browns had a car and we didn't. So if we need to go somewhere, they would take us. And I remember every time Lucius and Dolores came over, my mother said, "Go upstairs, Kevin." I was like, I'm watching TV. We didn't have a TV in our bedroom. So I gotta go upstairs because these two knuckleheads want to hold hands. But but all these years later, as far as I know, they're still together.
Oh, that's nice.
Wow.
They're still
That's
together.
a long time too.
Yeah, because Curtis was born in 54. So Curtis would be 72 now, something like that. He was born, I think, in May of 54. And then Dolores, probably a couple years before that. And then Edmund was born in 1963. I remember that vividly when he was born. But yeah, man, Miss Brown, Miss Brown made it, man.
100 years.
Yeah, she was, man, I tell you, she was a Mr. Brown. Mr. Brown was one of my, early heroes. I mean, I know we had sports people we like, but Mr. Brown, what I like about Mr. Brown is that he always went to work and he had a shirt because he worked at Universal Tire. He had a shirt that had Willis on the patch. And then years later, when I was working for Focus Hope, I got the manufacturing, they gave me a lab coat that had Kevin on the patch. Man, I said, damn, that to me, that was a big accomplishment.
Absolutely. And those are people in my life too, when I think back to heroes. We named a few of them over these weeks in this podcast that I think of real heroes, and not one of them is quote unquote famous. I mean, I admire some famous people or look up to here and there, but the people that my real heroes are people that I know that are really worthy of the work.
Yeah, good folks, man. Good
regular. Were you in an apartment building or like townhouses there?
In the projects?
Yeah.
They weren't apartment buildings. They were units. They're almost like a townhouse. Yeah, you call it a townhouse now.
Okay.
Yeah, and they were like units.
The cross between a townhouse and a barracks.
I'm
not trying to be funny, but that's just what they laid out. They were laid out.
Absolutely. And they had the brick ones and they had the wooden ones.
Right. They sure did.
And we stayed in the brick ones because we were high society. So we got to stay in the brick ones.
You stay in the hinky ones.
Yeah, right. He said, we used to look down upon the. Yeah, you stay in the wooden ones. No, we didn't do that. No.
We were all broke people.
We
were all broke. So it was fine. But I tell you, man, yeah, it had its disadvantages, but all in all, man, no, I wouldn't, man. I made some great people there, man. We saw a lot of wild shit. A lot of stuff that I'm the type of guy that if I see something like that, I won't do it. I'm not like, oh man, that guy's shooting heroin. Well, I want to try that. No, man.
No thanks, I'll pass.
Yeah, right. Not this time. Yeah. But it was cool though. It was cool, man. They had a pig roast in the projects one time. This family they bought this suckling pig from the Eastern Market or something, and they dug a pit. This was totally illegal. They dug a pit in the little. They had a little field and a big field. They dug a pit in the little field. It was right off of Stockton, and they dug this pit. They threw all these coals in there. And they put this guy on the spit, and for the next 2 or 3 days, these cats took turns roasted this pig and getting drunk. Okay. All right. And it was funny because it was during the summer. So we're all out there every day. And they said, we think it's almost done. So I ran home. I said, hey, Mom, it's almost done, Mama. They gonna serve the pig. My mother said, boy, don't you touch that pig. She said, she said, them fools, and she used another word, but she said, them fools have been out there drunk as hell, ain't paying attention to the damn pig, don't know what they doing. You don't eat that. Everybody that ate that pig got it. I'm serious. Got extreme. They got extreme diarrhea. That shit was funny as hell, man.
The big diarrhea scandal in 1965.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, but parts of the pig were overdone. Parts of the pig weren't done at all. They didn't know. They didn't know what the hell they were doing.
Threw it in the ground.
Right. The fire would die down and the fire wasn't hot enough. I mean, my mother said, don't you even think about touching that,
Man, but hey, they did that at my for my aunt's like her 80th birthday or something out by her farm. And they did it right. It was maybe about 10 hours or something. They had it in the ground.
I'm about to say, because we did one time in the beach in Belle Isle and had a whole pig. It took overnight and then.
Yeah, oh man, that was good as hell though, man.
The guy cooking it knew he was doing it too.
That's
Smitty.
it.
I don't know if you ever knew Smitty, Kevin. You ever knew Clinton Smith? We call him Smitty. Do you ever know him? I don't think you know him. Anyway, Smitty cooked it for us. Yeah.
Me? Smitty? Yeah, I knew Smitty.
You knew Smitty? Yeah. But he cooked it over.
Okay.
With the PLP. Yeah. And he cooked it overnight, and because he was a cook in Vietnam.
Okay.
So it really helps if you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. And you're not drunk as hell.
Yeah, just throw it in the ground and get a keg to sit over it,
Right.
What
man, I got a picture of Smitty when we had that famous New Year's Eve party at the Geek Club. And he had his hands up in the air like that. Yeah, that's Smitty. Yeah.
The Geek Club.
The Geek Club. That's right. That was a classic night, man.
Smitty Yaphet Koto. He looked just like he could have been Yaphet Koto's first cousin, man.
Oh yeah, that's what he looked like.
Yeah.
He looked so much like Yaphet Koto's crazy.
I seen Yaphet Koto when they were filming.
When they were filming Blue Collar.
Blue Collar and Hamtramck, yeah. Yeah, he walked right by me. He was looking at me. And Harvey Keitel was there. He was real young.
Yeah.
I didn't see Richard Pryor. Everybody's looking for Richard Pryor, but he wasn't around.
He was hiding.
Yeah.
It's funny. Yaphet Koto put out a really good song in the late 60s. It was a spoken word song. I got it somewhere at home, but look it up on YouTube. It's worthwhile. It's worth looking at.
It's funny, man.
Huh? Oh. No. I'm gonna say.
Go ahead.
We were talking about go to Tubi and look up the movie The Balcony. Say no more.
Yeah, that last one you suggested, I didn't last too long with that one.
Which I told you, you talking about which one? The Mountain? The Holy Mountain?
The Holy Mountain, yeah.
I told you, I said it's not a good movie. It's just to blow your mind. It's like, wasn't it wild? Was it wild or what?
Yeah, for the first like 3 or 4 minutes were wild, and that's
you didn't only make it but 3 or 4. I'm telling you, it makes Fellini look like Buzz Kulik. I'm telling you,
I hate Fellini.
It's that wild. It's incredible. It's just.
I'd have to do some mushrooms or something to watch that, man.
I'm telling you, bro.
Man, my brother met Eric. He met Richard Pryor.
Oh yeah.
And he told me, he says, yeah, man. No, he said I met him. He says, man, this is years ago, right? But he was famous. He was a famous comedian then, and he didn't have his accent, nothing like that. He was fine, right? He said a lady friend of his say, hey Eric, why don't you come over and why don't you meet somebody? And he goes, okay, a friend of his. And she stayed over on Manchester, those townhouses on Manchester.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Between like Woodward and Second over there, right?
Yeah.
So Yeah, yeah. So he goes over there. He says, "Hey, come on in, Eric." He said, "Go in the living room, meet him." He said he walks in there, and Richard Pryor is sitting on the couch. And Eric was like, he's a huge fan, right? He's like, "Man, Richard Pryor." He said, "Dude, what's your name, man?" It's Eric. He said, "Oh, great, good to meet you." He said, "Look, do me a favor though." He says, "When I come to Detroit, I'm not doing it. I'm not playing anymore." He said, "But she's my friend, and I like to come here and just to relax, you know, in anonymity, basically." He said, "So I'd appreciate it if you wouldn't tell anybody I'm here." And Eric said, "No problem," and he did. He said,
Wow.
but he met me. He said he met Richard Pryor. Yeah, because me, Eric, and Mom used to listen to his albums, all the time. Yeah, listen to put it just as soon as Eric would buy one, we put it right on the turntable and sit there, crack up laughing, for the next hour. But yeah, he met Richard Pryor. Yeah, yes, he did. Yeah. And I
Yeah, we
saw
used to
Richard
listen to
Pryor
them.
once.
You did?
Yeah, I saw him once. Yeah, I saw him at the Fox. Tina and I went, and he was in the throes of MS then. He
Yeah,
was
yeah,
in a wheelchair. And then what's her God? I can't think of the Carla something, the soul singer out of Detroit. What was her name? She was drunk as hell, and she kept saying, "I love you, Richard. I love you." Coming up, and it was a chaotic evening.
yeah.
I'm just saying.
What was her
It was,
name?
it was,
What's the
I
singer
don't
name?
know. I don't think it was Carla Thomas. Is not out of Detroit,
No,
is
no,
she?
no.
No,
She's not in Detroit.
no, she's out of
She's
Memphis or
not, and
something.
she's
Yeah,
not a drunk.
right. No, but I'm just saying. I forget who it was, but she was drunk as hell, and she kept interrupting the show, and all that, and then everybody keeps saying, "I love you, Richard." And Richard said, "I love y'all." He said, "I love y'all too. Will y'all shut the fuck up?" That was kind of funny. But man, I gotta tell you, the funniest part of the whole night was what it was this four white folks sitting in a row in front of us, and it looked like a mother and father and their two kids who were grown. They're grown, right? Sitting beside me was this black couple, and this guy was a little drunk, and he kept saying, "Richard, Richard, say the joke about the dicks, Richard." And and then I'm looking at him, and the family, you can see him like, "What the hell is this guy talking about?" And he goes, say the joke about the dicks, please, Richard, talk about the dicks. And then his girlfriend looked at him and said, "Will you shut up with that?" And then he looked at her, he says, "Oh, baby, I just want to hear about the dicks." And I'm sitting there laughing my ass off. And the family, they're all looking at each other and looking at me. I said, "Hey, I just wrote, no, don't worry about him. He all right." He just
people,
drunk.
people, when they get drunk, sometimes do the damnedest things.
You ain't lying. You ain't lying, man.
What,
Speaking
what
from
was the bit
experience.
about the what was the bit about the
Yeah.
dicks though?
I have no idea.
Well, you want to hear about this now.
No, I was just wondering. I remember a bit about it. Well, I don't know what he's talking about.
Right. I have no idea, man.
Yeah, we used to listen to all those albums too. Yeah, whenever they came out.
Yeah, man. Yeah, crazy. Red Fox albums. We used to listen to
I like
those
Red
when we were
Fox. I used
kids.
to love Red Fox. Red
Yeah, when
Fox
we were
is good.
kids.
Remember that
What
one?
the hell was that? No.
Tarzan.
Oh, well, yeah, you didn't sound nothing like Tarzan. You sound like Blue.
Neither did Red Fox.
Red Fox did that?
It was. I won't get into it, but it was funny.
Yeah, I'm kidding. Wendell, you probably don't remember this, Wendell, but we were driving down Telegraph. I was driving. We
That's
in the
when
car.
I first heard about it.
Oh, really? Okay, yeah.
That's the
And we
first
were
time
playing.
I didn't hear about that in oldies. I heard, from
I
you.
mean, yeah, and we were playing that, and we were laughing our asses off.
It was so
And I
crazy.
forget. And we pulled into the lot. I parked, and we got out. We were still laughing. And this woman
Yeah.
looked at us, and she was like, "That's nice. See two guys just laughing."
In fact, I don't remember the incident particularly, but I remember that I heard it on Telegraph. I didn't realize it was with you. I should
It
have
was with
guessed.
me.
I should have
Yeah,
guessed.
of course. And you know those LaWanda Page CDs.
That was just horrible. They weren't even funny to me.
That was stream of consciousness comedy right there. You know. And we played those. You were driving. We were up in Ann Arbor with Kai, and Nedra was in the back, and we were playing. The CD. Yeah, Pipe Laying Dan. I think they were.
But yeah, it's just terrible. I remember you
How old
playing.
were they?
I remember playing.
Oh, they were in college.
Oh, okay. Okay.
No, when they were, wait a minute. When over at your house on Normandy, and playing that tape for William, and William thought it was funny as hell for the first 10 minutes. After that, it gets tired.
Right.
But he thought. Hey, Kevin Thompson. That's something that I really miss about Detroit too. Is we used to play when we used to play golf every week. A lot of times would lead us out there in their Telegraph, and there were so many nice little restaurants. And my favorite, we always go to get some food to breakfast before and lunch after. But one of my favorite places on Telegraph, that place is gone now too.
What?
Remember they had the great pancakes, a little nasty little greasy spoon on Telegraph, the east side of the street near 8 Mile, south 8 Mile on Telegraph. You don't recall that all?
On Telegraph?
Yeah. It's some great ass pancakes, nice light pancakes, and big,
I don't remember
big, strong looking waitresses that would call you honey.
They even had some female ones.
They had one real cute waitress there too. Wait a minute, I missed it. What you say? What did you say? I missed it.
They had some female waitresses too.
Okay.
But I remember that Carreras or something. The Italian place was really good.
I like that.
Telegraph.
That was a whole nother story.
Oh,
that was not a greasy spoon. That was a nice place. I like
yeah.
that.
You know who took me to that place? You know who took me to that place? No. My old boss, Carmen Munoz.
Oh yeah.
Took me there, man.
I love
and
that.
I used to get the Polo Salsiccia or something like that. The sausage, chicken sausage, and this white sauce.
Okay.
Just out of sight, man.
It was a little small place.
Is it still open or is it gone now?
I don't know.
I haven't gotten over there in a long time.
I used to love the buffet, their lunch buffet. Oh man, everything about that place I like. It was some good, reasonable prices.
What was the name again?
Carreras, I think it was
Carreras.
CARR'S.
They've got a one an Italian place, Cabreras or Carrera, another one like a franchise one though. That but it's not the same place. No, it's not the same place. No,
that restaurant was really. I mean, Carmen, rest her soul. Carmen knew some spots because she was in the manufacturing, having those deals over lunch and dinner, things like that. And man, she would sit me down and tell me stories about her coming up because she passed away a few years back. And Carmen was exactly 20 years older than me. So she'd be 90 if she was still living. And Carmen told me, she said, yeah, I was in the secretarial pool, Kevin, and it was 6 of us, And so I figured, like what happened back then, women got pregnant and they would leave the job, right? Yeah, so every time one got pregnant left, I go to the boss and say, instead of hiring a new person, give me half their salary and I'll do all their work. And eventually, but she was smart. She knew how to set it up. She knew how to organize it and all that. And pretty soon, she said, I was the only one in there. I was making a ton of money. And she went into manufacturing and in Southwest Detroit, she's very revered. She's tough businesswoman because she had to be. So male dominated. But man, she could tell you some real stories.
She grew up in Southwest?
Yes, I believe so. Yeah. Yeah, but she was all right though. Carmen was cool. You could sit and talk to her, like especially after work. That was a fun time, man. You just sit there and work is done. And you just sit there and you're bullshitting with her. She's telling you about her childhood. And I'm telling her about mine. And that's one of the most great relationships I had with a boss, so to speak. A person that's your boss. But oh man, she learned a lot. And I went to one of those industrial events like at Kobo, something with her where they have the whole, one floor, big floor, and all these manufacturers in there. I walked through there with Carmen. Window, I swear to God, you thought she was this was Robert Plant I was walking with, or Barbara Streisand or somebody, because everybody came up to her and was like, "Oh, Carmen, hello, Carmen. Oh, you work for her. She's the best." Everybody. I said, "This is wild," But they in that particular arena, she was most certainly
She's
she
like
was
a rock
she was a
star.
rock star. She was a rock star in that arena, man. So bless her heart. She's cool people.
Is
I
she
miss
from
her.
Focus Hope or Hollinsworth?
No, no, she was no, it was part Focus Hope, but she was her own manufacturer. I actually met Carmen years before I worked for her. So we had an event at Focus Hope that I had set up, and she was one of the people there.
Okay.
That's why I met Bill Freehand. Because a lot of those
Bill
Hank and
Freehand,
Gary. Yeah.
the
Hank and
catcher?
Gary. Yeah. Yeah. All those
Hank
guys,
and
most of
Gary.
those guys from the Tigers when it manufactured Hank and Gary.
Right. That makes sense.
He had an empire, man. I mean, Hank and Gary was
Yeah. I knew that.
yeah.
But Bill
What, like
Freehand,
manufacturing stuff?
Yeah, manufacturing. Yep.
I think of Bill Freehand, I think he had a
Automotive
big
manufacturing.
face. He had a great big old face.
Yeah, but I met all those guys, man, and then years later, here I am working for it. I said, I remember you at the event at Focus Home. She goes, yeah, I was there. Yeah, I said, okay. So she always held her own. She always had a lot of respect in there, and she had to break a few eggs, I'm sure, but man, she made the last funny story I remember. Her husband, great guy, gave me his original Pangborn tie. The Pangborn was the designer. I forget his first name. He had a shop downtown. He make these kind of outlandish ties, and he gave me his tie because I don't like this tie. Kev, he gave it to me, But I heard the story about he worked for her. Okay, he worked for her, and she told me this. She said, "Yeah, I had to fire my husband one time." He said he was working. He said there's something we disagreed on, and he's like, "Well, I'm not doing that." And she says, "Well, you're fired." He goes, "Fine." He goes, "Fine." And as he's walking out the door, he says, "So what do you want for dinner later?" And she goes, "Okay." And he walks out. So they didn't get divorced or nothing. So I guess it worked out. Hell,
This was all right.
yeah, it's her company. Hey, yeah, but it's something else, man.
Mm-mm-mm.
I told your wife, Kevin, the other day. I said anytime she wants to be on as a special guest, she's invited.
Yeah, I know. She told me.
Okay.
Yeah. When I was asking her what the hell you talking to her for over, behind my back.
That's right.
Every single day.
That's right. Because Kevin Thompson is going to protect what's
mine.
You know what I'm saying? That's right. You pissing around the perimeter, Wendell. You need to
stop. And it's stanky too.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a lot of fun talking with Kai, man. That was.
Oh, Kai was cool. Yeah, good old Kai.
That was, and I hadn't seen her in so long, and
isn't it funny? Like you see somebody and talk on the phone, but it still looks like you're actually there with them because.
Yeah, that was it was so nice, man, and she's really, really, just really matured into quite an exceptional person. Yeah. 48, man.
I know it's bizarre, isn't it? It's weird.
Yeah. So when I'm going to my 50th anniversary, she's going to be turning 50. And I think I probably graduated just maybe less than a week before she was born.
May 20th.
Yeah, she was born May 20th. I think I graduated maybe it's usually around May 15th, something like that. Yeah.
Just before she was
born. Just before she was born. And I didn't even know until you sent me, you sent me a correspondence with Kai on there. And then I met her months later. But
4 pounds, man. 4 ounces.
Yeah.
4 pounds?
My daughter, she was only 4 pounds, 4 ounces.
Yeah. All right.
Kevin Robinson sent me this yesterday, this video of this guy playing guitar and singing. He looks so much like my son. It's ridiculous.
You're lying, man.
He looked like
You're
William
lying.
around 15 years ago.
Oh yeah.
But what's his name again?
I forget his name.
But he's talented too. But he was married to you say
Oh,
he's married to
Valerie June. Valerie June. That's her first husband, I believe. And well, yeah, I think she's just in a partnership now with somebody. But yeah, you know, she was born on January 10th.
The same day as you.
Yeah, same day. But you know, I got about 24 years.
Yeah, you
Yeah, yeah. But that guy, when I saw that guy's face, I said, "Oh, look him up, see what he does. He looks like a musician." And I
Yeah.
punched in something. I said, "Damn, that looked like William."
I know. First I said, you know, for a split second, your mind said,
Right.
looks like William. Said, that is William.
What's that? YouTube?
Yeah, is it? Was it
Yeah.
on YouTube? And
It's
he's like, he plays
it was something off
guitar.
of Google. Yeah.
I said I didn't know that William must have been like secretly learning how to play. Then, of course, I knew it, but then of course that just starts running through your mind real quick. And so I knew that wasn't true. So I said like, damn, that guy looks like William. And every now and then he would look exactly like William. And sometimes he was like, well, no, he's not. Then I look at yeah, he looks like William.
You see these apps now where you can just send your picture in and then they have you singing a song or something like that. You say a few, yeah, you say a few words on it too, and they'll put your voice into a song and have you doing like a music video.
Really?
Yeah. You got to pay a lot of money for this shit, but they do it. Yeah. AI is something else, man. That the stuff they can do, man. Jesus.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it's like anything else. They use it for good and evil.
Like that, like that one of Trump walking in high heels.
I saw I saw one with Trump and Obama doing the out of sight dance together.
Oh yeah,
that was kind of bizarre.
Jeez.
Well, you know, pretty soon you won't be able to use video as proof of anything.
No,
people say
you don't know.
you can doctor people in there. You know, how do you know it's for real?
Especially you're talking about maybe not with highfalutin situations, you won't be able to get away with it, but in terms of the general public, it's very easy to pass off things, and that's what's so funky with punk ass Trump. He could say anything he wants and then say, "I didn't say that."
Yeah,
and those knuckleheads will go along with it because they want to.
Yeah, the people don't believe it.
Well,
anything negative is AI fix.
I didn't do that. I didn't. Yeah. That's what brings me back full circle. That first story I was talking about. It's like the truth doesn't count. It's how you use it for your argument. And as long as people aren't interested in the truth to determine their point of view, but instead they look at their point of view to determine what they want to be true, that's the way it's going to be.
Yeah.
Right. And you can't argue with people like that because I can sit here and I can say, you know something, here's some points about Obama that I didn't like, right? And they'll go, yeah, you're right. I said, but here's some points about Trump that I really can't stand. And they'll go, oh no, you got it wrong. I said, see, I can't talk to you because you're not gonna acknowledge a damn thing. So you're so entrenched in your belief that it's not even a belief; it's just an obsession at this point. And you don't, you don't want to recognize what anybody else says. So what's the point? You don't need to talk to this person.
I think a lot of people they're not interested in the truth. They're not interested in what's right or integrity. They're interested in their side winning, and what they want to be. True to be true, and I really do think that unfortunately a lot of people are into that, and not a whole lot you can do about it.
Whatever it takes to win.
Yeah, period. And with their idea of winning is some kind of bizarre selfishness that I have no part of.
Yeah,
I want no.
Well, you know something though. You know what's classic for me? What's classic about what you just were talking about here is that the old, which is a stupid discussion. Who's the GOAT? Is it Jordan or LeBron? Now, you got people who, when they talk about LeBron, they'll bring up everything that they don't like. And anything that he does, like, oh, he's just stat chasing now. Well, if I'm 41, averaging 24 points, 8 rebounds and 8 assists. I think I'm doing pretty damn good as a 21-year-old. Okay, I
Yeah.
really don't. But if you don't want to acknowledge that, and you just he's just stat chasing. Okay, but then now I'm not saying I don't care. I don't care who's to go. You know, I'd rather have Jordan on my team. Well, me personally, I'd rather have Wilt Chamberlain. But that's a different story. Okay,
That's a
okay,
different.
yeah. Give me Wilt, but still, you know, you can keep 6'6" and 6'8". Give me 7'1". You know?
Absolutely.
But you know, it's just so silly because you can't have a nice discussion about it because everybody's trying to point out the bad things of somebody else. Jordan was spectacular. We know that. And LeBron is spectacular in his own way. But you got people, oh, he's left flop. And I'll stop. You know, as soon as I read somebody saying left flop, okay, scroll, just keep going.
Just keep
Because
going.
this
They
person
have nothing to
just
say.
keep yeah, they ain't got nothing to say because you don't caught on to a nickname and now you just
Mhm.
spitting it out, you know.
Doesn't that sound like the Trump strategy a lot? Instead of arguing, they'll say, "Oh, you're a libtard," and then going from there.
Yeah,
You
all
know,
right, right. That's it. It
ignore
seems
everything you said. Just talk about you. You know.
yeah, yeah, you're lip tired. You're lip tired. You know, something you don't mind me. I got this. Just popped up in my head. I was on social media and this guy had this picture of this woman up there, this white lady, and she said something to the effect of, you know, they should bring back slavery. And you know, black people need to be put back in slavery. Now we all know what slavery entails, okay? You know, rape, murder, child separation, beatings, the whole nine, lynchings, the whole nine, right? And she said this. And this guy says, "Oh, so she thinks that you know, she's gonna get away with this, basically." He said, "But I decided to see find out, you know, where she works." And he did. He was able to track down where she works. And he was thinking about, you know, something, I'll send this to her job. Let's see how that works out. You know what they're gonna say. This guy commented, this white fella, he commented, he says, "Do you know that you can get in a lot of trouble doing that? You might even go to jail if you do that. So you really shouldn't do that." Now remember, I don't agree with what she said, but what you want to do is way worse. And I'm sitting here going, huh? I said,
Way
I
worse.
said, way worse. So to me, that is the definitive definition of a libtard. Okay. This guy was it's like, oh, so me pointing out that she thinks black should be in chains,
Her
and you're saying,
own
well,
words.
yeah, her own words, and he has it. She got it on social media, which is public knowledge at this point. Okay. And he says, but what you're doing is way worse than that. And I'm like, okay, man. All right. Yeah. Yeah, we know who you really are. Okay, don't give me this. You know, and I'm for you guys. No, you're not. No, you're not. It's a trip, man. Interesting. Social media, boy, it can get you in a whole pile of shit, man. Oh, wait,
Sure.
wait, real quick.
Hmm.
The Knicks, they won the basketball championship, right?
Sure.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I guess during the celebration, they showed this woman. She has on the Knicks uniform, and and uh she picks up that they had the garbage cans painted in the Knicks colors, the blue and orange, I believe it is. Right? This garbage can was full of garbage. She picks it up. She's pretty damn strong too. She picks up this garbage can. She dumps all the garbage out on the ground in New York, right? And then walks away with the can, smiling and giggling.
Oh, okay.
Well, it got around, and she got fired from her job at I want to say Morgan Stanley, place like that. She was making $250,000 a year straight
God
salary.
damn.
What's
For
she
a
Yeah,
did?
garbage can.
over garbage can and dumping the litter, just dumping the garbage out. I don't give a damn. You know, New York has enough of a problem trying to keep itself clean, and here you are dumping all this massive amounts of garbage down and then walking away, stealing this trash receptacle
With a big smile
and
on her
Still.
face.
big smile and looking right at the camera, looking right
Yeah.
at the cameras and smiling her butt off. And they fired her ass, man. And you know, people say, well, she might get another job. I said, well, you gotta remember, the jobs like that, $250,000 could be a mid-level supervisor. You know, when you're dealing with financial stuff. That's not I mean, it's a lot of money for those of us who've never made a quarter
Sure,
million.
hell,
But window in the finance world, if she's making 2.5 million, you know, well now somehow, and they do, and you make more,
Yeah.
but somehow your skill level has shown you can reach that point. Now, if you're mid-level and you're getting 60% of that, you get about 200,000, after taxes or something. She's living good, but not all of a sudden that money's gone.
It's gone.
So she might be looking for a job where there's no jobs out there.
Yeah.
Or you got to take,
absolutely.
you got to take 100 grand, which to anybody else would go 100 grand is cool. Not if you used to live on $250,000. It's a big dive. So I was like, wow.
You
Man,
got to give up her apartment.
Then she had to give the garbage can back too.
I was about to say, you got to give up her apartment and the garbage can.
And pick up that damn garbage.
Yeah, go back and pick up the garbage. Yeah.
I give her like one of those, 800 hours of community service.
Yeah, walking around. Yeah.
Walking around picking up litter. That's what you ought to do. So.
I don't know. On top of everything else, even if it wasn't littering, what kind of person just steal somebody else's garbage can and they knew they took that much trouble to make like that? Wow, who would do a thing like that? It's just selfish. I want it. I'm taking it.
It's on the public street. They probably the city might have done a lot of them like that. So it could have been city.
Okay.
Yeah,
alcohol might have something to do with it too.
I'm thinking about some guy like Kevin Thompson might do something like that to his garbage cans.
I did some crazy shit, man.
Hmm?
I did some crazy shit like that, yeah.
No, not steal the garbage can. I'm thinking about like paint the garbage can.
Oh, no, I wasn't painting it.
No, but I heard that Kevin Thompson was going around painting people's mailboxes, unbeknownst to them,
No, I wouldn't do that either.
You don't do that.
You didn't paint your mailbox?
No, I wanted to get shit for it for like the holidays that you put on it,
Yeah, okay.
Like, they got stuff that cover it up, like, for all the holidays you can put stuff up. I was thinking about putting a golf bag on the post, because we got the post out there. Just cut a hole in the bottom of it, put the mail bag with the box coming out of the mail bag.
Yeah.
Oh, that'll be all right, man.
Yeah, fill up with cement or something. Because every once in a while, the kids come by and knock the tops off of them.
They really do that, like in the movies?
Yep, they still do that shit, man.
Well, look here, we're gonna wrap it up.
All right, good.
Wrap it up.
Yeah. Well, some window. If we wrapped it up, we wouldn't have kids. Okay. All right. Am I getting? You okay, window? You all right? Yeah, sorry.
I'll give you that.
Whenever you say wrap it up, when you say wrap it up, window, that's what I think about.
That's the first thing you think about.
People have kids and they don't take care of. You always hear, well, I got all these kids. Wrap it up.
I got the joke. I know you got it. I'm not dumb.
Wrap it up and tuck it.
You're just dense. That's all. But you're dense. You're dense.
Wrap it up and tuck it.
Oh God.
I'm not sure if I'm sure. I think I know what that means. I'm not sure.
You know what it means, Wendell. You know.
Tuck it and then walk like Trump on high heels.
High heels. On high heels. There you go.
This is getting weirder. Okay, everybody, look at the balcony and get a chance on Tubi. See you later.
All right, Kev. All right, Win.
All right, man. Yeah, y'all take care. See you later. Yep. Bye.
That's it. End.
Wendell, Kevin, that's a show. We talk about things you wanna know. From the bay we come to you with the freshest point of view. Watkins leads the way tonight. Gonna make your evening bright. WKKS, tune in now and join the fest. WKKS, hope you like our show the best. never